Yep, big game at home. Excited about College Game Day being here and a top 10 matchup, which is what the SEC is all about. I mean, you got an opportunity to play. Great program in Auburn. Gus and them have done a tremendous job, always have. Their kids play with tremendous toughness, very physical team, and every time we play them, although it's usually later in the year, it's extremely physical.
We'll begin with Dennis Dodd of CBSSports.com.
Hey, Kirby. I know that JT's been cleared. Where is he in the hierarchy right now? And how do you just keep DeJuan, mentally there and in the mix and going forward after Saturday?
Well, with DeJuan's question, he's working. I mean, he's continuing to work. He's getting better. He's growing as a player. He learned from some of his mistakes and trying to get the players around him to play better too, so that allows him to have success. And really the same thing with JT. He's continuing to work. He's doing a great job, and glad he's cleared because he's able to play now, and we're excited to see him and see what he does.
Next is Mike Griffith of the AJC.
Hey, Coach, can you talk a little bit about the backfield? You've got a lot of younger guys. I know Zamir White had some carries last year, but really a lot of unproven guys. How deep can that rotation realistically go?
Well, it just depends on how far it needs to go based on injury and things like that. We've got 5 guys that we feel comfortable with. Good thing is the young guys have gotten a lot of reps. With some of the other guys, Kenny was dinged up in camp, so we were able to get Kendall and Dejan a lot more reps because of that. But I got a lot of confidence in all 5 of those guys. They do a good job. They work each day. Not to say we're going to play 5 every game, but I got confidence in all 5.
Next is David Pascal of Chattanooga Times Free Press.
Hey, Kirby, with the uniqueness of this season, the fact there will be no dog walk Saturday, the fact that you won't be running out with the band right there, is that something that you're going to have to kind of address with the players, just the strangeness of it, or do you think last week experiencing that at Arkansas kind of took some of the edge off?
No, we addressed all that early in the year, and that's been the mantra the whole time. I mean, we played scrimmages with nobody in there and with parents in there, and then one time with donors in there. So it's like, I mean, anything in the stadium is more than what we've had for our game-like scrimmages, and the psyche part of that, we've kind of addressed that already.
And then when you go back to last Saturday and you're trying to iron things out offensively, just how valuable is a Jake Camarda for you when Arkansas during that time constantly having to start under the shadow of their own end zone?
Yeah, Jake's done a tremendous job, man. He's worked really hard, and that was one of his goals for the year is obviously to be able to pin some more people inside the 10, and he was able to do that with the help of some really good gunner play.
Thank you.
Next is Anthony Dasher of GeorgiaSports.com.
Hey, Kirby. I was just wanting to see what you say about Jamari Sawyer and his debut at left tackle the other day, and also if you had any kind of update as far as Tommy Bush is concerned.
Yeah, Jamari's done a good job. I thought he helped lead the group, and he's got probably a little more experience than those other guys. He's still relatively new to the position, and he's worked really hard at it. I mean, he's going to get challenged more and more as the level of competition goes up, and we know that's one of the toughest places to play in the SEC. And hey, look, there's nobody perfect over there. We just lost 2 first-rounders at each edge, and you realize that it's a tough league to play in when it comes to that. But he really plays hard. He's very conscientious about it. He goes against really good pass rushers every day in practice. So he's continuing to get better, and that's what we need to build around the quarterback position is a lot of guys that are each individually getting better. And as far as Tommy, he's working with us, doing a good job, and he's closer to healthy and hopeful that he can help us.
Thank you.
Next is Matt Zentz of AL.com.
Hey, Kirby. With Del McGee, how have the responsibilities maybe grown for him behind the scenes there during the course of these last few years, and just overall between what he does from a coaching standpoint and then as a recruiter to go along with that, how important and valuable is he overall to the staff there?
Well, he's been a tremendous asset for us. You know, he's one of the guys that's been here from the original start, and that's always important because when you sell values of the organization and what you believe in, it really helps when you've got guys that have kind of built the continuity of being here, and he's been that. He's been a rock. That's been here for a long time. He knows how we like to do things as an organization, and he's been a big part of that. He helps me tremendously, and he's a great guy. That he's probably one of the first guys I go ask questions to in terms of making decisions because he's very experienced.
Thanks, Kirby.
Next is Philip Marshall of Auburn 24/7.
Kirby, Auburn, of course, as always, has lots of guys from Georgia, as they did when even when you played. Do you see those guys play with a little bit different edge, maybe, than some because of that?
Yeah, I would think so. I think it's that way all the time. I think it's that way in coaching. It's that way. I mean, when you're coaching against a school that maybe you went to or that you played at, I've always said that. I thought that was a factor in some of our games last year, and certainly that case is always the case. It doesn't necessarily mean that we didn't want them. We wanted a lot of those guys that got beat on them. So it's a matter of you play with a chip on your shoulder because it's your home state. You probably got more family at the game. You sometimes, and not always in Auburn's case, but you've got kids that are closer to Athens than necessarily Auburn. But that's not always the case with them. But yeah, I think it's certainly that way. It would be no different with kids we have on our roster from the state of Alabama.
Thanks.
Jordan Hill of Opelika Auburn News.
Kirby, going back to last November leading up to now, what has been the biggest improvement you've seen from Bo Nix and having to prepare for him?
Well, you can put no price tag on experience. I mean, I don't think there's, I saw that with Jake Fromm. I mean, the first year you saw these simple mistakes, and then the next year it was like, okay, I know the down and distance better. I know where the yard marker is. I know I'm in field goal range. Don't take a sack. I know where I'm going with the ball. I've seen this defense already about 8 times. I know exactly what to do with the ball. So it's, it's one of those deals that with experience you make better decisions, and it's very obvious that his learning curve is really fast in terms of being able to understand his offense, how to use it. I mean, he makes some decisions in the last game that last year he wouldn't have made that decision that fast. And what happens is when you make that decision a split second sooner, it gives that wide out, an extra yard to run after the catch. And also that's a big play instead of a catch and a tackle. But he's done a tremendous job, and he's a really good football player.
Next is Bob Holt, the Arkansas Democrat Gazette.
Hey, Kirby, with a young guy like Mathis, who's obviously got a lot of potential, when he maybe struggles in his first game, you have to make a change there. How do you handle that as far as making sure he doesn't lose confidence?
I don't think you can. I don't think you can not lose confidence. I mean, realistically, it affects you emotionally. It affects you, and the kids that we deal with nowadays, they live in the outside world. They have to learn to tune it out at a young age. That's really hard to do. So we support him internally, and we communicate with him. We build strong relationships, and we use the players on the team, the leaders on the team, to continue to develop and grow him, and so that he can do it. I don't think you can't put a Band-Aid on it. It's something you got to try to use to learn from.